7 years of marriage, and I thought I knew every side of Mason Carter, until this afternoon, when I used his phone to order DoorDash and saw that WhatsApp message. Husband, are you coming over tonight? I miss you. Sender, Chloe Bennett. My finger froze on the screen. The pulse in my ears amplified. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and tell us in the comments where you're listening from. I stared at the message, my mind blank. Mason was in the kitchen chopping vegetables. The steady thud of the knife against the cutting board rang out. He'd gotten off work early today and bought the pork ribs I love, saying he'd cook sweet and sour pork ribs for me. Lila, what soup do you feel like? His voice drifted from the kitchen, gentle as always. I sucked in a breath, took a quick screenshot, then erased the read receipt. Winter melon and pork soup, I managed, keeping my tone level. I kept scrolling through their chat. This afternoon was amazing. Your lips are so soft. Next time let's try that new hotel downtown. Heard it's nice. Husband, when can we go public? Every line felt like a knife to the heart. The first messages dated back 3 months ago, the day before our 7th anniversary. That same day he'd given me a necklace, claiming he'd chosen it specially, a symbol of everlasting love. Thinking about it now makes me sick. Why do you have my phone? Mason suddenly appeared in the living room, apron on, spatula in hand, ordering takeout. Mine's dead. I casually handed it back. Keep cooking. I'll go charge it. He took the phone, looking perfectly natural. What movie tonight? Whatever's fine. Back in the bedroom I plugged the charger in, then leaned against the headboard to think. Mason and Chloe. I knew Chloe, the accountant at Harrison Company, his firm, 25, single, pretty in a quiet way. We'd met a few times at company events. She always called me Mrs. Carter, respectful. Looking back, that deference had carried a trace of smugness, and I'd completely missed it. The aroma of cooking drifted in. Mason was humming the song he used to sing when we were dating. I closed my eyes and forced myself to stay calm. The priority now was to gather evidence and decide how to handle it. I opened my phone and texted my best friend Sophie. Are you there? Urgent. She replied instantly. What's wrong? Call me. The phone rang once before she picked up. What happened? Lila. You sound off. I found out Mason is cheating. A few seconds of silence. Then Sophie's low voice. You're sure? Positive. I saw their chat history. Oh my god. Are you okay? Want me to come over? No. He's home. I need a favor. Name it. Dig up everything on Chloe Bennett. The more detailed the better. Who's Chloe? The other woman. Got it. I'll start right now. Don't do anything reckless. Protect yourself first. After hanging up I heard Mason calling me to dinner. I composed my face and walked to the dining room. Sweet and sour pork ribs, winter melon and pork soup. 2 side dishes, everything looked perfect. Try it, taste like you remember. Mason ladled soup for me. Smile warm. I tasted a rib. Mmm. Great. You seem down. Rough day at work? He sat, eyes full of concern. Maybe just stressed. I kept eating. Is your company busy lately? So. Month-end closing. So accounting swamped. He mentioned accounting without missing a beat. Chloe must be working hard. Then, I prodded. Probably, she's been staying late. His expression didn't flicker. Why bring her up? No reason. She seemed pitiful last time. Alone in this city. Yeah. Young people have it tough. When he said that, a tenderness I'd never seen glimmered in his eyes. I clutched my chopsticks so hard they nearly snapped. After dinner Mason cleared the table. I sat on the couch, watching him bustle around, and the irony hit hard. He'll never guess I already know everything, and I'm absolutely going to make them pay. At 10 p.m. Mason said he had to step out for something. This late? What for? I asked lightly. Need to print documents for tomorrow at the 7-Eleven, he answered, already in his jacket. Be right back. I nodded. Drive safe. The instant he left I dialed Sophie. I found stuff, she said excitedly. This Chloe's no amateur. Tell me, she's done the married man tango before. 2 years ago she dated a guy for a year until his wife stormed the office, then she backed off. I gripped the phone. What else? She rents an apartment in Brooklyn for $3, $500 a month, but only pulls $8,000 in salary. Someone's clearly keeping her. Address? 18th Street, Brooklyn, Apt 1202. Sophie paused. Lila, what are you planning? Evidence. Be careful, no crazy moves. I know. I threw on a jacket and headed out. Brooklyn was 10 minutes away. Soon I was outside the apartment building. Apt 1202's windows glowed. After half an hour Mason's car pulled up. He got out, waved his fob at the gate like he'd done it countless times. My heart sank for good. Back home Mason wasn't back yet. I sat in the living room mapping out my plan. Step 1. Gather more proof. Step 2. Trace their money trail. Step 3. Pick my moment to confront. Past midnight he returned. Did you get it? I pretended to wake up on the couch. Yep. Why aren't you asleep? He kissed my forehead. Off to bed. A faint perfume clung to him, not my brand. I lay awake listening to the shower, plotting my next moves. Next morning Mason left for work on schedule. I took the morning off and started my hunt. First stop, his office. I showed up at the lobby with a lunchbox, claiming I brought him food. Mrs. Carter. Chloe's face flashed panic, then poise. What brings you? Just visiting. Busy lately? I smiled kindly. Month end must be brutal. It's okay, just the usual rush. She kept her eyes down. Take care of yourself. Does Mason ever drive you home? No, I have a car. She waved both hands. Oh, what kind? An old used one. I smiled and let it drop. I knew she was lying. Sophie had confirmed she owns no vehicle. From the office I went straight to First National Bank. As Mason's spouse I had every right to review our joint account. The manager greeted me warmly and printed 6 months of statements. I scanned each line and spotted the irregularities. Starting 3 months ago, a monthly transfer of $3.500 labeled monthly rent payment. We own our house. There is no rent. Smaller, frequent transfers too, a few hundred here, 1,000 there, all tagged of allowance. I photographed everything, then drove to my last stop, the Brooklyn Property Management Office. Hi, I'm a friend of the landlord. Could you tell me if Apt 1202's tenant is current? I showed my ID. The property manager tapped a few keys. The rent on this unit is $3.500 a month, paid right on schedule. The leaseholder is listed as Chloe Bennett, but the payments come from Mason Carter. I swallowed a cold laugh and kept my face neutral. Is Mason her boyfriend? We don't really know. We only see the transfers. Got it. Thanks. Outside the property management office I already had all the proof I needed. Time to set phase 2 in motion. I messaged Sophie. Find me the boss's wife at Mason's company. I want her number. Sophie being Sophie. The intel landed that afternoon. Mason's boss is Richard Harrison. His wife is Brenda Harrison, old school. Hates adultery more than traffic tickets. I located Brenda on WhatsApp and sent a request. Hi, I'm Mason Carter's wife, Lila. I need to speak with you about something important. She accepted within minutes. Hello, what's this about? It's concerning Mason and Chloe in accounting. May I call you? My phone rang seconds later. Lila, what exactly are you saying? Brenda's voice was already steel. I've discovered my husband is involved with Chloe Bennett. I have evidence I'd like to share. Are you certain? Completely. I can forward the screenshots and bank statements now. I sent the file. When she finished scrolling her breathing had turned harsh. Mason, I thought he was one of the decent ones. Brenda, I don't want a circus, but I can't let it slide either. What do you have in mind? I want the company to teach them what cheating costs, formal consequences. On the record. Easy. I'll have them in tomorrow. Anyone who needs firing will be fired. Thank you for backing me up. Always. Women look out for women. The line went dead and the weight on my chest lightened for the first time in weeks. That night when Mason walked in I made my voice casual. How was work? Okay, just tired. He did look drained. Then turn in early. Next morning I waited at home. At 10 my phone vibrated. Mason sounded rattled. Lila, I'll be late. Something's come up at the office. What kind of something? I played dumb. Just work stuff. I have to handle it. All right, go take care of it. At noon Sophie pinged me. Your husband's company is on fire. Chloe's out. Fired. Seriously? Cross my heart. My friend in HR says Brenda did it herself. Mason got written up. A laugh slipped out before I could stop it. By 3 Mason was back. Gray-faced. What's wrong? You look awful. I kept my sympathy on autopilot. They fired Chloe. He slumped on the couch. Claimed attitude problems. Way over the top. You think. Management must have a reason. Maybe. Watching him ache for her turned my stomach. But this was only round 1. Evening brought Brenda's follow-up call. Lila, it's handled. Chloe's terminated. Mason's on final warning and loses 3 months bonus. I appreciate it. There's more. She faked expense reports for months. Small amounts. But fraud's fraud. I've called the police. A jolt shot through me. I hadn't expected jail time. Was Mason part of it? So far, no. If the probe widens, though, his supervision's on the block. After we hung up I stared at the ceiling. The game had jumped a level I hadn't planned. Next dawn Mason was summoned again. As he left I asked, what's the emergency? Richard wants me ASAP. Probably fallout from yesterday. He grabbed his jacket, kissed air, and vanished. Minutes later Brenda's voice buzzed in my ear. Police are in the building. Lila, Chloe's accused of embezzling 50-something grand. Mason's the supervising manager. They're interviewing him too. How bad is it for him? Right now he's clean, but Chloe could drag him down if she panics. Mixed guilt and triumph churned my gut. I'd wanted justice, not an orange jumpsuit. When he came home at noon, Mason's composure had cracked. Lila, I have to tell you something. He knelt, eyes wet. I'm sorry, so damn sorry. About what? I let my face go slack with shock. Chloe and I, we had an affair. The words scraped out. Started 3 months ago. I lied to you every single day. I stepped back, letting manufactured tears pool. Why? What did I do wrong? Nothing. It's all me. I was stupid. Selfish. Do you love her? He jerked as if slapped. No. I love you. Only you. I knew better. If he didn't care, yesterday's firing wouldn't have gutted him. I need time. I pulled free. Sleep in the guest room tonight. Lila, time. Mason. He dragged himself away like a condemned man. Over the next few days, Mason launched a full-court apology campaign. White roses every afternoon. DoorDash orders of sweet and sour ribs and winter melon soup. Non-stop texts begging for counseling. I answered in monosyllables and kept my ring finger bare. Lila, I've cut off all contact with her. He sat beside me, cautious. I deleted her WhatsApp. I won't see her again. Where is she now? In custody. For the embezzlement. He sighed. She might be sentenced. Are you worried about her? He was quiet for a moment. I just think she's kind of pitiful. I gave a cold laugh. Pitiful? When she was wrecking someone else's family, did she ever think I was pitiful? Lila, that's not what I meant. That's exactly what you meant. I stood. Mason, you're still defending her. How am I supposed to believe you've let go? I really have let go. He hurried to explain. You're the only one in my heart. Then answer one question. I stared straight into his eyes. If she hadn't been caught, would you have confessed to me on your own? He froze, speechless for a long time. Guess I have my answer. I turned back to the bedroom. Mason, you didn't confess out of love. You confessed out of fear. That evening I got a call from Chloe's family. Is this Lila Carter? I'm Chloe's sister, Claire. The voice was polite but thick with tears. Speaking. Could we meet? I'd like to talk to you about my sister. I hesitated. All right. The next afternoon I met Claire at a cafe in Manhattan. She was a few years older than Chloe, plainly dressed, eyes swollen. She'd clearly cried for days. Lila, I apologize for my sister. She bowed deeply the moment we met. She was wrong. She destroyed your family. I said nothing, waiting for her to continue. I know words are useless, but I'm still begging you to show mercy and let her off this once. Tears streamed down again. She's still young. If she's sentenced, her life will be ruined. This isn't up to me, I said calmly. She embezzled funds herself. It has nothing to do with me. I know, but if you're willing to speak up for her, maybe the penalty could be lighter. Looking at her desperation, my feelings were mixed. Claire, let me ask you something. If your husband cheated, what would you do? She blinked. I'd be furious, heartbroken. Then do you think I should forgive her? She lowered her head. I don't know. Your sister was with my husband for 3 months. She knew he had a wife. She didn't care. My voice turned colder. Now that she's in trouble, you come pleading. Who's going to compensate for the hurt I suffered? I'm sorry. Truly sorry. She kept apologizing. Watching her, a question suddenly occurred to me. Do you know why she embezzled the money? She said, to look wealthier in front of Mason. Claire spoke softly. She wanted him to feel she was good enough for him. Irony washed over me. To impress a married man, she'd stooped to crime. Claire, I won't speak up for her. I stood, but I won't keep pursuing it either. Her outcome is the one she chose. Lila, that's all. I walked out of the cafe. Back home, Mason was cooking. Where were you today? He asked carefully. Met Chloe's sister. His spatula paused. What did she want? Begged me to let Chloe off. Do you think I should agree? He struggled for a long time, then said, it's your decision. I support you. Model answer. I gave a cold chuckle. Mason, what's really on your mind? I just want to save our marriage. Then answer me one last question. I sat down and looked at him gravely. If you could choose again, would you still be with her? Mason was struck dumb. He opened his mouth, tried to speak, but in the end said nothing. Looks like you still need time to figure it out. I stood. I need time too. Lila, what do you need to think about? He asked nervously. Whether our marriage is worth continuing. His face went white. You want a divorce? I haven't decided. I looked at him, but I think a man who still wavers over his mistress in front of his wife doesn't deserve forgiveness. I'm not wavering over her. He rushed to explain. Really? Then why were you sad when she was detained? Why did you hesitate when her sister begged me? I asked word by word. Mason, you think I can't see it? He fell completely silent. I'm giving you 1 week to move out. I turned back to the bedroom. When I've thought it through, you. I'll decide our next step. Lila. He tried to follow, but I had already shut the door. The next few days, Mason kept trying to win me back, but I stayed firm. On the 5th day, he finally packed and left. I'll be at the hotel downtown. Phone on 24/7. He stood at the door, gave me one last look. If you change your mind, call me anytime. I didn't answer. I simply closed the door. The house fell quiet at once. I sat on the sofa and started thinking seriously about our future. It would be a lie to say it didn't hurt. 7 years of marriage can't be dropped so easily. But what I can't accept is that, even now, Mason hasn't truly recognized his mistake. He thinks an apology and some begging are enough. But he has no idea the wound of betrayal never fully heals. Sophie came by with bags of goodies. How are you feeling? She asked. Concerned. Okay, just not used to living alone. Treat it like a vacation. She sat beside me. Decided what you're going to do? Not yet. I sighed. Sophie, do you think I should forgive him? Depends on you. If you still love him and are willing to try, then forgive. If you can't get past this, end it sooner. The problem is, I'm not sure he's really changed. From what I see, he is trying hard to win you back, but he still has her in his heart. I smiled bitterly. What use is a man who loves someone else? Sophie patted my shoulder. Time will give you the answer. Next day I received an unexpected call. Lila, this is Chloe. I was startled. Aren't you in custody? Out on bail. Her voice was weak. Could I see you? I have something to say. Not necessary. Please. Just one last time. I hesitated, then agreed. That afternoon I met her downstairs at her Brooklyn apartment. She'd lost weight, face pale. None of her former sparkle left. Lila, thank you for coming. Her voice trembled. Speak. What is it? I want to apologize. Truly apologize. She kept her head low. I was wrong. I destroyed your family. Is an apology worth anything now? I know it isn't, but I still have to say it. She lifted her tear-filled eyes. Lila, from day one I knew it was wrong. I just couldn't stop myself. Why couldn't you? Because I wanted a warm home so badly. She broke down crying. My parents divorced when I was little. I grew up with my sister. Never felt a complete family's warmth. When Mason was good to me, I thought someone finally loved me. My feelings tangled as I listened. But I understand now, warmth you steal never lasts. She wiped her tears. Lila, in his heart Mason still loves you. The day he heard I was in trouble, his first worry wasn't me. It was that you'd find out. Something stirred inside me. He said that? He said if you ever found out, you'd be heartbroken. He didn't want to hurt you. Chloe looked at me. Lila, he really loves you. So much more than he ever loved me. Her words tangled my thoughts. When I got home, I sat in the living room and thought for a long time. Maybe Mason does love me, but his love is mixed with too many other things. Guilt, duty, habit. Do I still want to love like that? That evening he messaged me, Lila, are you okay? I stared at the text for ages, then finally answered, I'm fine. I miss you. I know you're still angry, but I really know I was wrong. Give me a chance, please. I shut the phone. I didn't want to read anymore. The next day was the weekend. Sophie asked me to go shopping. Feeling any better? She hooked her arm through mine. So. Mason called me yesterday. I froze. Why would he call you? He asked what he could do to make you forgive him. Sophie glanced at me. I think he's honestly sorry. What good is sorry? I gave a bitter smile. Why didn't he think about the consequences while he was cheating? Lila, I think you should give him a chance. Why? Because you have 7 years behind you, and he's trying hard to make amends. Sophie stopped walking. More importantly, I can see you still love him. I went quiet. Sophie was right. I did still love Mason. Otherwise, I wouldn't be in such pain. But Sophie, I'm scared. I admitted. I'm scared that if I forgive him, he'll do it again. Then set conditions, she suggested. Make him prove he's really changed. What kind of conditions? That's for you to decide. We shopped all afternoon while I turned her idea over in my head. Maybe I should give Mason a chance, not unconditional forgiveness, but a chance for him to earn trust back through action. That night at home I texted him, come over tomorrow afternoon. We need to talk. He replied instantly, okay, I'll be there. He arrived right on time the next day, looking haggard, his stubble untouched. Sit. I pointed to the sofa. He sat cautiously, watching me, waiting. Mason, I've thought for days and I've decided to give you one chance. Hope flared in his eyes. Really? But there are conditions. I kept my voice steady. If you fail, we divorce. Name them. 1. You change jobs. Leave Harrison Company. Start somewhere neither of us knows anyone. He nodded. All right. 2. Hand over every password of phone, email, all social media. I'll check whenever I want. No problem. 3. Come straight home after work every day. No outings. No one-on-one contact with women. I promise. 4. Our relationship restarts from zero. Prove with actions that you deserve my love. Mason listened, then fell silent for a moment. Lila, those terms are harsh, he said, looking at me. But I accept. Are you sure? You'll lose a lot of freedom. I'm sure. He grasped my hand. For you. For our marriage. It's worth it. My feelings were still mixed. Then we'll try, I said. But Mason, this is the last chance. If you let me down again, I won't ever give you another. I won't let you down. Tears glimmered in his eyes. Lila, thank you for this chance. I nodded. Move back in. Then, after Mason moved back, he really did try to change. He quit his old job and joined a new firm in Queens. Every day he came straight home. Weekends he helped with chores and went shopping with me. He gave me all his passwords, and I spot-checked his phone. At first I was tense, jumpy, terrified something was still going on, but gradually I saw he was changing. Before, he'd flop on the sofa and scroll or watch TV. Now he talked to me, asked how my day had been. Before, he never remembered what I liked. Now he'd buy little things he saw on his way home. Before, he rarely voiced feelings. Now, I love you came often. Lila, there's a project celebration dinner tonight. Can I go? He asked one day. What time will it end? 9 at the latest. Fine, but send me your location and keep me posted. Absolutely. He came home on time and brought me leftover cake. Tastes great. Try it, he said. I did. It was delicious. How was the dinner? I asked. Just coworkers eating and chatting. He sat beside me. Oh, a colleague asked if I'm married. I said yes. 7 years. And that my wife is beautiful and amazing. I gave him a look. And she didn't ask anything else. He smiled. Lila, wherever I go now I tell people I have a wife and I love her. A warm feeling rippled through me. 2 months passed and things kept improving. The hurt hadn't vanished, but I was starting to believe he had really changed. One night while we watched TV he said, Lila, Chloe's case is closed. 1 year suspended sentence. A knot tightened in me. How do you know? An old coworker mentioned it today. I thought you should know. Mason looked at me. I don't care about her. My heart has only you now. I studied his face. Nothing felt off. Good. I leaned on his shoulder. Mason, you've changed so much. You gave me the chance to change. He hugged me. Lila, we'll keep getting better. I nodded, and the last sliver of doubt melted away. Maybe we really could start over. Another month went by. Mason's new job was going well, and our bond felt stronger. Lila, next month is our anniversary, he said one evening. I want to marry you all over again. A second wedding? I was surprised. Just the two of us. He looked serious. I want to propose again, to make new promises. Seeing the sincerity in his eyes, my heart warmed. All right, I smiled. Then you'd better prepare properly. I will. He hugged me happily. Lila, I love you. I love you too. I hugged back. The first time we'd said it since reconciling. In that moment, I felt we truly had begun again. Mason spent ages preparing for our second wedding. He secretly booked a high-end restaurant in Manhattan, bought new rings, and wrote a long letter. On our anniversary, he led me there. The private dining room glowed with romance. White roses everywhere. Lila, 8 years ago, I asked you to marry me, and you said yes. He knelt and held out the ring. Today, I ask again. Will you be my wife once more? I looked at him, tears in my eyes. I do. He slid a new wedding band onto my finger, then stood and held me. Lila, starting today we begin again. I swear I'll never hurt you again. I believe you. I hugged him tight. After dinner he brought out a letter. I wrote this for you. Everything I've come to understand these past months. I took it and read every word. It was pages long. He detailed every mistake, told me how much he loved me, how sorry he was, and mapped out the life he wanted us to build. It's beautiful, I said when I finished. Mason, you really have changed. You changed me. He squeezed my hand. Lila, without you I'd never have learned what real love is. And now you know? Now I know. He met my eyes. Real love is loyalty, responsibility, the willingness to change for the other person. I smiled. Good answer. I'm satisfied. Back home we were newlyweds again. Mason offered to wash my feet. I laughed and declined, but the gesture warmed me. Lila, I want us to have a baby, he said suddenly. I blinked. Right now, if you're willing. He watched my face. I want a child made from our love, something that makes our family complete. I considered. Let's wait a little. Let our bond settle even more. Okay, whatever you say. That night we talked for hours about the future. Mason wants a bigger house, one with a backyard garden in New Jersey where I can plant my favorite flowers. I said I want to travel, to all the places we dreamed about when we were young but never reached. Hawaii, Italy, Japan. We'll do it all, he promised. As long as we're together, everything is possible. I lay in his arms, safe and happy. Maybe this is what marriage truly is. Not the absence of mistakes, but the choice to repent and grow together after they're made. The next day Sophie came over. You two look blissful, she teased. Mason really has transformed. He's thoughtful now. Attentive, I said, proud. So when are you having kids? No concrete plan yet, but soon. She nodded. Good. By the way, have you heard about Chloe? I shook my head. And I don't want to. They say she moved back to her hometown in Ohio. Is dating some steady guy her parents found. Then I wish her luck, I said evenly. Mason walked in with a fruit platter. What are you girls gossiping about? Chloe, Sophie replied bluntly. His expression didn't flicker. Oh, well, I hope she finds someone right for her. I studied him and knew he was truly free of her. Enough about her. I changed the subject. Sophie, how are you and Mike? Still adjusting, but it feels right. We talked all afternoon. Mason stayed with us, relaxed and natural. As Sophie left she whispered, he's really changed. You chose right. I nodded, heart full of hope. 6 months later Mason and I were stronger than ever. His new job was going well. Promotion and a raise. We started house hunting seriously in New Jersey. What about this one? He asked, tapping the realtor's sheet. 3 beds, 2 baths, and a small backyard garden. Looks perfect. When can we see it? This weekend. We decide everything together now. No more unilateral moves. At the viewing I fell in love with that garden. If we get it, I'll fill it with white roses, I declared. Deal. I'll even help. Mason laughed. We could grow vegetables too, save grocery money. You know how to garden? Nope, but I'll learn. His earnest face made me laugh. Let's put in an offer. Sure. No more tours? None. I love this one. We left a deposit the same day. That night he asked, Lila, shouldn't we start trying for a baby? Why the sudden rush? We've bought the house. We're solid. It's time to complete the family. And I'm dying to see what our kid looks like. I thought it over. Okay, let's try. He swept me up. I'm going to be a dad. You're happy and I'm not even pregnant yet? Exclamation point, he chuckled. 2 months later the test came back positive. Mason spun in circles when I told him, I'm going to be a father. I really am. He hooped like a kid. Keep it down. The neighbors will complain. Don't care. I'm thrilled. He hugged me gently. Thank you for doing this, Lila. It's our child, I corrected. Right, our child. Through the pregnancy he spoiled me rotten, nutritious meals. Daily walks in the park. Foot rubs every night. Aren't you tired? I asked one evening. Nope. Taking care of you and the baby is my #1 job. And your career? Important. But you two come first. Those words melted me. This Mason bore no resemblance to the selfish man I once knew. 10 months later our baby daughter arrived. The first time he held her he cried. She's gorgeous. Just like you. He gazed at the tiny bundle. Lila, we have a daughter. Yes, we do. Seeing his bliss, I flashed back to that brutal night a year ago. Who could have guessed we'd travel from that abyss to this moment? Let's name her, I said. How about Clara? Clara means bright, hopeful. Why Clara? Because she's our hope. Proof we can begin again. He looked at me. You gave me that hope, Lila. I smiled. Clara it is. Our daughter slept peacefully in his arms, cheeks rosy. Clara, I'm your daddy, Mason whispered. I'll protect you and mommy forever. Hearing his vow, my heart overflowed. It's been almost 2 years since I uncovered the cheating affair. We've lived through betrayal, agony, struggle, and still found our way back. Not because I forgave easily, but because we fell in love a second time. Mason proved his transformation with actions. I learned to trust again. Slowly but surely. We treasure each other more now than before, knowing how fragile love can be. Looking at our baby girl, I know this is the best ending, not fairy tale perfect, but honest, hard-won happiness, and that's more than enough. Thanks for watching today's story. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Feel free to share your opinions. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more amazing stories. See you next time.